of my favorite cooking techniques? Deglazing. Why? Because when you deglaze a pan, you get all of the flavor out of your food, you create a beautiful sauce, and it cleans the pan for you. So what is deglazing? Deglazing simply means pouring liquid into a hot pan after you've seared something, like steak or pork chops, fish even, or chicken breasts, like I've done here. When you pour that liquid into the hot pan, it grabs all of the brown bits on the bottom and lifts it up. That's flavor. Those brown bits are called the fond. Why? Well, because in French, fond means foundation, and that's the foundation of the delicious sauce that you're going to make. So keep your pan on the heat and let's add some more flavor to the pan. I'm going to do that by adding some shallots, finely minced shallots. You could add a little bit of garlic if you like in here. And we're just going to start to sizzle this just to bring out some of their flavor. Now's the time you could also use some fresh herbs here. I've got a little bit of thyme that I've chopped up, and we'll add that to the pan as well. Now you'll see already that the shallots are starting to pick up some of that color. They look brown. They are doing a little bit of deglazing all on their own. But just wait until we add the liquid. Now while these are simmering, we can talk about what liquids you use to deglaze. The best liquids to use when you're deglazing is something with a little bit of acid in it. So white wine, alcohols, even lemon juice is a perfect liquid to deglaze with. Acidic ingredients bring up more of that flavor from the bottom of the pan. Now you'll notice my deglazing spatula is a spatula that has a flat end to it. That's important because I'm scraping the bottom of the pan, scraping those fonds up into the liquid. It smells delicious already. Once your shallots and your fresh herbs have just become aromatic, it's time to add your liquid. I'm going to add a little bit of brandy, so just enough to cover the bottom of the pan. This is where the fun begins. Because we're adding alcohol to the pan here, we're going to make sure we bring this to a boil to reduce it down a little bit. That will evaporate some of the alcohol off. Scrape the bottom of the pan until it is absolutely clean. Now you know you've done your dishes before you've even sat down for dinner. Look at all this goodness. This is beautiful. Not only is that liquid now beautifully brown, full of flavor, but look at my pan. It's beautifully clean as well. Now, the reason I want stainless steel to use in this situation is because stainless steel is durable. It's so easy to care for. I can use this deglazing spatula made of wood, or I could use a deglazing spatula made of metal and really scrape the bottom without any worries. Now, deglazing is great to start making a sauce, but even if you're not making a sauce, I recommend to deglaze with just some water. That will pick everything up off the bottom of the pan and clean it for you. But now that we've deglazed with some brandy, let's go ahead and make a pan sauce. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of chicken stock. That's going to reduce and add more flavor to our sauce. Just enough to cover the bottom of the pan is perfect. Bring this to a boil and let it reduce. So that's difficult sometimes, to look at a wide surface area of liquid to know how much you started with and therefore how much you're ending with. So a way to get around that is to actually tip the pan so that you have a better idea of the volume of liquid there. That way, you're going to be able to tell when you've reduced it by half. So you can always add a little more flavor to your pan sauce, and I'm going to do that right now by adding a little mustard. So I make a mustard brandy cream sauce here. Take a little mustard and whisk that into the liquid. And then I'm going to add a little bit of cream. Now you could stop right now if you wanted to and add maybe a dollop of butter, but I'm going to go for the gusto and add some cream. Now back to my deglazing spatula, just to stir that all in. It smells amazing right now. It is so pretty to look at. And this took us no time at all. And in fact, deglazing is a technique that makes you let the meat rest, which it should always do. We never have enough patience to let meat rest for 5 minutes when it comes out of the pan. So when you deglaze, you are forced to let the meat rest, and that's a good thing. Okay, once you see the sauce starting to thicken to your liking, turn that heat down And then let's season it and taste it for a seasoning. So start with a baseline. So good. Season with just a little bit of salt, maybe a little pepper if you'd like. And remember, with a sauce this delicious, a little goes a long way, so you don't need a ton. This sauce smells fantastic. It is beautiful and decadent, and it took us no time at all to make this. All we have left to do now is put it over some chicken. So you take your chicken breast, you take some of this sauce, a little goes a long way, and sauce the chicken. This is so simple. This is a technique that you're going to come back to, and a sauce that you're going to come back to again and again, because it takes your cooking just to the next level with very little effort. A little bit of garnish at the end, and you have yourself a restaurant quality meal. Now, importantly, take a look at the pan, because when you scrape off the rest of this sauce that you know you're putting on a dinner plate, it is clean and ready for the dishwasher. That makes every cook happy. Deglazing is my favorite cooking technique because, sure, it cleans the pan, which is fantastic, but it makes your food that much better. And of course, I always believe you need the right tools for the right job, and that is a stainless steel pan, a good deglazing spatula. These tools and this technique are going to make you way more confident and comfortable in the kitchen.